Julius Malema, South African politician, creator of the EFF, very interesting person. Started with the group of Mandela, which is the ANC, the party that nurtured Nelson Mandela and many other people. He learned quite a lot from Nelson Mandela's wife, Mama Winnie Mandela. Julius Malema is very controversial for many people, speaks very openly about his thoughts, doesn't, hide his thinking. He's emphatic in what he does. A while back, he went to Kenya and made a speech saying how bad President Ruto was doing by supporting a country that I'm not going to name because we're getting censored. I'm sure you know the country I'm talking about. It's somewhere in the Middle East. They're doing something to some other people. Malema said President Ruto should not have done that, coming from a place where Mau people of Kenya suffered in the hand of foreigners.
Our war is not on Jewish children. Our war is against a Zionist apartheid state of Israel, and that's what we are fighting. Tell President Ruto that the people of Palestine are what Mau was. Tell President Ruto that the people of South Africa are what Palestinian people are today. Where our land that get encroached, where our land just get taken.
And he said he should not be siding with people that are oppressors. He should be siding with people that suffered, like Africans suffered. Was he right? Was he wrong? He got some return of fire from some Kenyans. I didn't like his comment saying he shouldn't come to Kenya and speak about, whatever he's thinking about in a foreign country.
Malema should stop coming to Kenya and insult our president. In fact, I want to ask the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to demand an apology from Julius Malema and EFF of South Africa, and to deny him visa and passport from coming to Kenya again.
Julius Malema does not believe in Africa as it is today. Africa is 54 countries. He doesn't believe that. He believes in one Africa, Africa where people come together. Because as per history, Africa used to be one continent, just one block. There was never countries like it is today. People intermarried, people went into different places. Of course, there was tribes. Today, Africa is 54 countries. You have Gabon, Congo, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, you name it. But Pan-Africans do not believe that Africa should be that way, because before Europeans came to Africa, people did not live in countries, they just lived in spaces and lands. Yes, there were tribes, there were clans, and all families and different other things. People from one tribe could go marry into a different tribe and have a family. People from one side of Africa could go to a different side of Africa and have a family. Today, Africans, before they move from one place to the other on the African continent, they have to get a visa or a passport or something very similar. It never happened before. That was never the case before. But in the same token, the people that brought visas and passports to Africans who never used to have it, they don't even have visas for each other. You don't need a visa to go to Belgium if you're a French person. You don't need a visa to go to Spain if you're a Portuguese person. But they came to Africa, divided Africa into small little countries that they appropriated for themselves. Then they left us with a system of visas that we never had. So Julius Malema believes if a problem is happening in South Africa, people in Kenya should worry about it. If a problem or a situation, negative thing happening in Congo, people in South Africa, in Gabon, in everywhere else should worry about and find a solution about it. Is he right? We're going to find out very quickly. You're going to let me know how you think. This is a speech by Julius Malema. Let's watch.
Speak truth to power. But please don't want to be liked. A lot of us, we suffer from wanting to be liked, especially being liked by people in power, because you seek favors. I seek no favor, for because I believe in myself. So you ought to believe in yourself. If you are an engineer like my brother here, if you are a doctor like my sister here, you've got the qualifications, you've got what it takes. You're not going to be scared of some illiterate because it comes from the bush and they say he's a soldier. a non-thinker, and you are scared that when I oppose this person, he will point a gun at me, you must tell him that put it here and shoot me and make sure I die. Because I'm not scared of death. I'm scared to die before I die. Because the day you stop telling the truth and you are pretending and you seek to be liked, you are dead. You are equal as a dead person because you are not enjoying anything. So when I live here, I'm not worried there's someone who's going to call and say, those things you spoke about them there, pay me the money I borrowed you. I don't owe anyone anything, nothing. I don't seek favors from a white man, from colonialists, from anyone. So my brother, don't be scared. Don't try to really impress, because you are impressing corruption. You are not impressing that person. You want to be liked by corruption. So you can't seek love from corruption. Corruption is the destroyer of future and must be fought here in Ghana, and it must be fought in South Africa, and it must be fought all over Africa. So please, let's not be scared to confront the powers that be. You know, these people, when they came to enslave our people here, they were not coming to enslave people. They came to steal the minerals. They were not coming for us. Then they ended up fetching us as well to join the minerals. We were first like minerals. We were traded like minerals. When you think of undermining the democratic achievements that we've made, think of those people who were enslaved, put in boats, in their numbers chained, taken outside of our beautiful continent by force. And they could not chain you as an individual. They have to chain you 10 by 10. When the sea goes crazy and the boat can't stand the wind, they're thinking maybe it's overweight. In the middle of the sea, they take 10 of you, they push you out of the boat so that the boat can sail with the remaining slaves. When the boat continues to carry our people out of the continent, 10 of them pushed out, 20 of them pushed out, both their hands and feet chained. There is nothing so painful to die without a fight. That even when you know this shark is going to kill me, let me try, maybe I will be Moses and hold the mouth, and let that time the shark is attacking you, you die with dignity because you have put some sense of fight. But our people did not have that dignity. They died chained. And we are not here to impress anyone who wants to undermine the legacy and the struggles of those people who died chained. We are not about these people who exist now. We are about President Rawlings. We are about Kwame Nkrumah. We are about all those who came before us. These ones that are still with us will be reminded of what we come from. Because they must never think they made us. They were made by those chained slaves. Every time you want to do wrong, every time you want to undermine the struggle and the unity of Africa, remember our people died chained. They could not put up a fight. We are fighting on their behalf and will never retreat until their dignity is restored. Thank you very much.
Now, I want you to understand, a person like Malema cannot be loved by everybody. If you listen to him carefully, you will hear some spaces where you probably don't agree with him. But just because you do not agree with somebody on one subject doesn't mean you should dismiss everything they say. I don't believe that. I believe sometimes as human beings we are meant to be different. We are meant to have different opinions. But just because you have a different opinion on one subject doesn't mean we shouldn't talk or have a cooperation. It doesn't mean we cannot build something great together. I think the maturity comes when you are able to separate This is just an opinion on one specific subject to who the person really is. You know, those are two very different situations. Yes, you can disagree with somebody about something. You can have different religion with somebody and work together and build something great together. You can have a different opinion on something, you know, here and there, and still have something together. So I believe people need to give him credit in terms of he is a person. Julius Malema, in his country, South Africa, he said, if you do not like foreigners, he was talking to his African brothers, South Africans, if you do not accept other Africans in our country, if you do not want to tolerate them, you don't have to vote for me. And he was preparing himself for the election, the presidential election. You know, normally politicians, they will tell you all sort of lies so they can win elections. He's not one of them. He said, if you are willing, if you're looking to kick out foreigners, if you are willing to accept Chinese that are coming in the country, but you don't want to see the foreign Congolese, the foreign Tanzanian, the foreign wherever, then don't vote for me. You can keep your vote for yourself. That is Julius Malema. So as much as the man is not perfect, he says some other things that are really not good, whatever that is, however it sounds to you. Do you agree on that or not? That is your choice. So let me just remind you here for this. For several years in South Africa, there's been some instances of xenophobia where local South Africans, black South Africans, did not appreciate the presence of some foreigners because some of those foreigners were accused of doing crime in the country, taking jobs, South African jobs, and stuff like that. Doing crime, do they do crime? Yes, they do crime, some of them. But is crime specific to a group of people? I don't know if you can say that. Do South Africans do crime? Yes, they do crime too. Are there good people among South Africans? Obviously. Do foreigners do crime? Yes, they do. Are there good people among foreigners? Yes. Now somebody will say, well, they should go do crime in their own country. That's maybe one point. But should all foreigners be kicked out because a group of foreigners do crime? I don't know if that's fair. Once again, fellas, I firmly believe that we are the same people. Doesn't matter where you come from. We should be able to live together and accept one another. And I think building Africa will never be done by one country alone. It's not possible. We have to come together as a community, whether it's Africa or the diaspora. We have to come together. We have to bring to the table things that we have, the intelligence we have, the capability and capacity we have, so we can move forward. Let me know how you feel about this, how you feel about Malema. Not a perfect guy, but he's got some ideas. It's always great to hear from you. God bless.